Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Jo Davis, and today Julia Grief is also with us today. And before we get started, we kind of wanted to talk about like 2025. I know a lot of you are so happy that it's over, and I will say that I'm that way too because yesterday was really a big whirlwind. Like it was giving me everything that I didn't get in earlier in the year. Having said that, it's a really good idea at the end of each year to not only look at the things that you would like to change and the things that you would like to step out of, especially since we just got out of the 9-year cycle. We start a new cycle this year. And so some of the things like people like to make their New Year's list. I would also like you to be encouraged to say what you're grateful for. I know a lot of people want to get rid of 2025. I'm one of them. But last night what I did was I wrote down everything that I was ready to release. And I took it outside and I folded the paper away from me because it was things that I didn't want anymore. And I put it in a fireproof container and I put a lighter to it and it went, whew, it lit up really fast and quick. And so I knew at that point that I was really ready to step in to 2026. But on that page, I also listed everything that I was grateful for, all the lessons that I learned through good and bad times and challenging times. So it is good to acknowledge the things that you do go through and how it really is great for your soul to move forward. Did you have any reflections, Julia?
I just have really that end of the 9-year cycle has been very present for me since actually kind of since the mid end of November, I think. But I've been seeing lots of nines followed by a one in the numerology. Like when I add them up, either on car number plates or on the clock, like the left-hand side will add up to nine and the right-hand side will add up to a one. And I'm like, oh, it's completion of one cycle and the beginning of a next. And I didn't even like put too much emphasis on it, but yesterday, I'm now on my January 2nd, so on my January 1st, when I turned on my computer, I had 1,111 emails in my inbox.
Oh my
And
gosh.
on Facebook, I had one new message and 11 notifications. And I actually at the time I was just like, oh, there's a lot of ones. And then about an hour or 2 hours later, I was like, hey, it's the energy of the one. It's the energy of renewal. It's reminding me to allow myself to be in the new energy, to, as you just said, to let everything from 2025 just be gone, be released, declare it from my energy field and not drag that energy into this new energy of 2026. I felt that was the message for me to to internally align myself that we are in a new year. I don't need to stay caught up in like the old energy of the old. So that was super cool, and I hope that can be helpful for people too, because we need to kind of align ourselves with the new energy. I feel like the new energy is flowing into the planet enough that it will carry us with it. But the more we can align ourselves with it, the easier it's going to be for us to jump in on that flow.
Yeah, you don't want to carry that baggage.
Yeah,
It's,
for sure.
it's good to release it. And I will say that even though it was a very challenging last couple of days, things didn't go always smooth. That's just life. We're humans. We have to deal with those kind of things. But I will say that after I actually burned it up, I felt so much lighter. It was just like a blanket being taken off of me. And I hadn't felt that way for the whole year, but over this last week, it was just really a trying time. And it was like, okay, I get your message, and I was just doing the countdown and I was so ready to let go of, these last minute few days that has been very trying on me. So I am glad that you were able to also see all the different signs of numerology. I also saw the 111 a lot, and then 11:11 quite a bit as well over the last couple of days. So yeah, I took it as a sign, and with numerology, and it's always a good affirmation, not affirmation, confirmation for us to have, if we're willing to actually look at the different type of things available. So, Julia, do you want to go ahead and start explaining about the theme, and then I'll chime in a little bit after you?
Yeah, so our theme that came in for January was the magic and the miracle of rebirth and renewal and transformation, which we feel is very much in alignment with the energy of the 1 year that this is. And it's rebirth on so many levels and renewal on so many levels for us as individuals, for us as with our friend groups and our family groups and as communities, and then for the collective as a whole. It's a renewal of our mind, helping us to come out of the old matrix programming and to drop more into the heart and to become more centered beings. And just the renewal energy that is supporting us in creating the new earth, Gaia. And when this theme came in for Lisa Joe, she got some very specific messages, right, about what renewal means in the context of the beings that wanted to bring this through. So I'll let her also speak to that.
At the end of November, or usually sometimes we like to talk at the end of the cycle that of the 30 days that we're in, and we try to plan for the next month or even the next 2 or 3 months what these themes or missions that we're going to be going on. And Archangel Jophiel, Merlin, and the dragons have all come forward, and Julie and I were talking about the rebirth and renewal, and they really, really wanted to start helping us. But we made a conscious decision to wait till January, because that's when a lot of renewal happens with the new year, and it might be a better opportunity to do that as well. But we did pull in Archangel Jophiel, and she came in December, and I personally have worked with Merlin and the dragons. It's been a long time since I've done any type of work with them. But what I will say is they came in really strongly. And so as we were sitting there talking, or actually we were on Messenger going back and forth, I wrote down this message to Julia, and I saved it. So what I was told by, it was between, I think a combination between the three of them, is believe in the magic around each of us. The magic of faith, nature, love, changing our lives, or changing our perspective. Life can be magical if we allow ourselves to be guided by our hearts, to go inward, to be in our own temple. We co-create our path moving forward, and that in itself is magic in action. So I got goosebumps again when that came through. So it was a very strong message that this would be perfect to start the new year off. And I will say that the dragons seem to be coming out more. When they want to work with you, you tend to see more of dragons around you. It may be a picture, it may be something on TV or in a book or a post on social media. But it's that reminder that you're like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe I'll start doing this again. And that kind of led up to us having our guest speaker with Sue Davy, and I did post it up today, so if you have time you can go in there and look at her interview. I asked all type of questions about the dragons, and then I asked her had she ever worked with Merlin, and so she had an interesting story about that. And since then I have created a couple of little mini courses working with the dragons and Merlin. But it's as well as Julia, she does also work with the dragons when they come in and, you know, different beings as well. But it was very interesting, the synchronicities that were falling into place. So, what I would like to do as we move forward is for those of you that have just joined our group, up in the top part of our page in the group, it is a private group, there is group files. And in the group files, you'll be able to see some of the past descriptions of the higher dimension helpers. There's different prayers in there that we've used, and we actually started doing this April of last year, 2025. There's information on crystals and other highlights since we started in April of last year. And some of the documents are available in both English and in Japanese. There is a printable flower of life and an earth grid. They're going to be towards the bottom of the list, and probably, I believe, in the April. They'll show what date that we put it in. So if you keep going down to the bottom of the group files, if you're interested, there are two different printable grids. One's the flower of life, and then one's an earth. And it seems to me there might be a third one. Maybe I'm not sure. I'll have to let Julia speak. Did we have another a grid besides the two? Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the unmute button. Not that I remember. I think we put one more in there, but I can't
Maybe it
remember
was
what it was. A spiral
Metron's,
grid, maybe.
maybe Metron's cube, maybe. Anyway, well, if there is another one, you'll be able to see it because it does say grid on there. But I also want to point out that you do not have to use those printable grids that we have. If you have a cloth with already a grid wrote out, you know, kind of printed on your cloth, that's fine. But it's really comes from the heart is what's the most important thing. You can have a natural grid that's made with your own hands, by your own hands. You can add greenery in there, pictures, statues, rocks, flowers. You're only limited by your own imagination. So it's all about, you know, what you're comfortable doing. Maybe you don't want to make a grid. There's no judgments there. It's what feels right for you, you know, to move forward. So Julia's going to talk a little bit about some of the crystals.
Yeah, before that, I just wanted to say that your interview with Sue Davy, which I was unable to be on live because of all of our various time differences, but Lisa Jo sent it to me and I listened to it. It's a really fun interview to listen to with lots of information in there, lots of insights and spiritual wisdom. So if you haven't listened to that, I do encourage everyone to go back and listen to that. And
Yeah, and
then
all of her links are in there as well because she does teach about the dragon codes. So there's a lot more information that we have inside of the description of her. So that's what I wanted to say.
And then getting back to our grid, the stones that have been suggested for this theme of rebirth and renewal of individuals, of the collective, and in alignment with the divine plan and the new earth energy. As a central stone, the stone that was suggested was a Lemurian seed crystal or a clear quartz master crystal, really holding the energies of rebirth and of ascension. And then they also suggested this was very interesting. They suggested if you wanted to, we could swap that out for a rose quartz Lemurian, which is actually a crystal I haven't heard of, or a pink amethyst for a softer, more feminine rebirth frequency, or using citrine or tangerine quartz for like the more phoenix rising, the very powerful energy of rebirth.
So also black obsidian, smoky quartz, labradorite, purple amethyst, green aventurine, and selenite. So do you want to tell them the next one? I didn't color code it for you.
Ah, no problem. And then in the outer ring, Morganite, Aquamarine, Moldavite, Celestite, or Angel Aura Quartz.
So I do actually have a pink Lemurian crystal, and this is
Oh,
mine.
wow.
It's and it does have a lot of really good energy. This one's I think pretty good size for me. And so this is the one that I'm planning to put in our grid. It's a very faint pink, so I'm not sure if you can pick up that color or if you can even see it well enough. But it, like we said, not everyone has crystals. So just use your imagination, feel with your heart what it is that you would like to add to your grid. There's really no wrong way of doing this. And so for the activation on the grid, there's been a little prayer that I believe Julia wrote to have the activation, and it has been posted in the group on an image. So if you want to, download that or save it in your phone, you'll be able to do that. And I'll read it quickly. It says, I activate the crystalline mandala in alignment with the divine plan for the rebirth, renewal, and transformation of myself, humanity, and earth. May love and light radiate through all timelines, dimensions, and beings now. And it's beautiful, and I did post it on an image, so you'll be able to find that. And I also did that today.
It's beautiful, and I would just add it was written by AI, and I only added the now.
Well, good
My
for AI. Give
contribution.
it a clap. It's summarized for you. There you go. So,
And then we're going to go ahead and introduce our helpers for the month as well, I believe, our higher dimensional helpers. So, of course, the regular guides who lead this work and who stepped in at the beginning and asked Lisa Jo and I to facilitate this work and said that they would be largely in control of like leading the higher dimensional guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Zadkiel, and Serapis Bey. They are with us every month and are also very present this month. How they how they show it to me is like they like hold the space of this container at a very high frequency level, which then makes other guides and higher dimensional beings very excited about stepping in because they can feel the power of what we're doing and the light that it creates that radiates out into the Gaia realms.
also Archangel Jophiel, the dragons, and Merlin.
And then we also had stepping forward this month, Isis, various crystals with particularly, I believe, quartz and rose quartz and emerald and diamond. And then from the galactics, the Lyrans and Arcturians are stepping forward.
And we did, or Julia, I gathered information, and Julia also, I believe, put into the group files a little bit about the dragons and Merlin and them working together. So, we left that in there so it's there, and you can go in and read it at your own time. when you're ready to sit down and learn a little bit about them. But Julia's going to go ahead and begin this time. So Julia, what do you have for us today?
So we are going to be going into a clearing and a release actually to begin with, and then start to integrate some of that energy of rebirth and renewal. And after we've done that, I will pass over to you.
Okay.
So just inviting everyone to close your eyes. And to drop into center. And just allowing ourselves to generate and to be filled up with our own magic first. The magic of gratitude that Lisa Jo was speaking of. Casting our minds back on 2025. Feeling gratitude and amplifying the feeling of gratitude for various events that appeared on our individual timelines during the year. And the beings of light say that they are sending energy and to cut the cords to that which no longer serves us as we are stepping forward into this new year and new energy of 2026. And although he didn't step forward as a particular helper for this month, Saint Germain is stepping forward with his sacred violet flame to help clear those energies from our energy fields. And also from within the wider collective. Affirming for us that the work that we do on ourselves and that which we have processed and forgiven and loved and released enough within ourselves, that creates an opening within the collective conscious which allows the same patterns or repetitive cycles to be released more from the collective also. So thanking each of us in the wider Lightworker communities also, but also in this light anchor community, particularly for that sacred work of going within and looking at ourselves, looking at our patterns and releasing. Deeply ingrained emotions or having a willingness to change to new beliefs. And the more of those we release, the more we are able to open to the magic of infinite possibility and rebirth and renewal for ourselves and for the collective. So thanking us for the presence that we are on the planet and how us standing in that amplifies that energy of renewal and rebirth and possibility for the whole. And then placing our hands on our heart and just being in thanks and in gratitude to self for the strength that we are, and the courage that we are and that we have to walk our own unique individual soul path. For the light that we allow to guide ourselves, for the perfect families and friend groups and experiences that we came into that have shaped us into who we are today as these embodiments of more light walking on the planet. For all the difficulty, the pain, the struggle, the hurt, just the suffering of the 3D world that we have traversed, and to some greater or lesser extent transcended within ourselves. To the beauty and magic and wonder of our own soul. And to our human self for allowing us to become more soul infused, that we may be open to the miracle of life, of our life, the unique miracle and beauty and wonder of choosing to be here at this time of rebirth for humanity. The miracle of life that flows in our veins through our cells. And the miracle of connection to self and higher self, to soul family and soul tribe coming in, into the higher dimensional beings and guides who support us in source. And to the new earth, the reborn earth and future that await us as we step through this sacred portal into the energy of 2026. And seeing or visualizing before us now a light-filled door that is cracked just open, allowing ourselves to open it and step through it. We find ourselves faced with a majestic flowing waterfall of light. And as we step into this waterfall, we find all that is no longer serving us. All that is not in alignment with the divine plan for our individual lives or for the human collective at this time, being washed and cleansed away. The dragons also coming in to support with this release. And as the cleansing, the release comes to a close, we step out of the other side of the waterfall into a magical forest filled with magical beings, with elemental beings, with higher dimensional beings, unicorns and dragons, Pegasi. Merlin is here also, as is Archangel Jophiel. And they are all helping to amplify the magic within us, the magic of self-love, of self-belief, of conscious awareness of the energy that we bring into the world with our emotions, our actions, the awareness of what we are creating with our thoughts and our energy. And the magic of sacred co-creation with our guides and higher dimensional helpers in alignment with the divine plan, amplifying all of those energies within each of us now. And Archangel Jophiel is placing a small pink rose quartz crystal in each of our hearts and asking us to write on it what it is that we most want to experience and to know as we go forward into this new year of 2026. So as each does that, she is then bringing into a greater coherence and amplifying the energies of those things that we have placed in the crystals within our hearts. Creating a field of light around each of us that will stay with us throughout the next couple of months, she says, and help to align us with that path of what it is we most want to experience in this year going forward. So giving great thanks and gratitude to the beings who have supported us in this meditation. And to each of us for being present to the magic of rebirth and renewal. The magic and miracles and possibility inherent in this 1 year of 2026. And passing over to Lisa Jo to share the sacred work that she wishes to bring forth for us today.
First of all, Julia, that was beautiful. I mean, I had a lot of energy coming up in my crown, and okay, for some people, they may not know this, that anytime that you are in a meditation or you do an activation or work with somebody, sometimes the energies will come in really strong and they can be very uncomfortable. And the most simplest thing is just saying, can you reduce the energy level? And it automatically will lessen. You won't miss out on anything. You'll still get everything that is coming to you and everything that was within that meditation or the activation, but they just don't want to make you uncomfortable. Some people, it can really take it, and then sometimes it's just a little overwhelming. And when I asked it, it was reduced up here. I love what you said, and that was a beautiful message that you had given us too. So today I am going to be bringing in Merlin and the Dragon activation, anchoring wisdom and guardianship. So if you need to shift around a little bit, you can do that. If you need to take a drink of water, go ahead and do that now. And then get back in a comfortable position. So this again is the Merlin and Dragon activation, anchoring wisdom and guardianship. So begin by taking a slow breath in and allow your body to settle. And with each breath that you inhale, it will soften your shoulders. You'll be relaxing the jaw. The neck, into your heart. And just establish a regular breathing rhythm for yourself, allowing any distractions of noises fall away. This is about you. And this is a spoken activation. So you may choose to repeat after me. I call forth the wisdom of Merlin, keeper of earth knowing, listener to the land, holder of truth beyond time. I also call forth the ancient dragon guardians, protectors of Earth's energy, keepers of balance, strength rooted in responsibility and care. Within me, wisdom and power meet. Knowing and courage stand together. I release all distortion around power. I release force, domination, and fear. I embody strength that is steady. I embody humble wisdom. I embody guardianship, guided by love. I stand as an earth guardian in this time, anchoring clarity through presence and protection through integrity. I align my voice, my actions, and my path with the living intelligence of the earth. May all that awakens within me now serve harmony, balance, and restoration. Take a moment and allow these words to mingle within you. These words have created a new vibration. Some of you may feel that vibration yourself. I know I am. If it is too uncomfortable, just ask that these energies be reduced down while still receiving the same benefits. I now anchor this activation within you in the highest divine light codes for the good of all and the harm of none. As you continue to breathe and allow this union of wisdom and guardianship to settle gently into your body, I am being guided to anchor this in with light language. Oshkinalina tata sitobalina gadi olina sito asino kanina didalido tosaka onino balida sida olita kanina sikandito tiani oikosina tito dialino kapaniga sikanira. Allow yourself to take another breath in, and as you release, come back to your body. Feel the surface under your feet. And on your next breath in, and as you release, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can also open your eyes slowly, adjusting to the light around you. So it is. Amen. What I would also like to talk shortly about is the aftercare. And this is staying hydrated, resting if you feel guided to do, and listening to your body. It's also a really good time to journal any thoughts or any impressions that you received either during Julia's channeling and meditation that she gave us, or even the one that I did. So it's really fresh in your mind, and it's great to be able to go back and read that, and maybe something you wrote in there will click with you later on.
That was truly beautiful and powerful. Thank you. Again, I felt a lot of energy moving through me.
Thank you. So I'm going to look for my lighter.
I'm also going to send you a request, Lisa Jo, for turning sharing on, and then I can put the prayer up on the screen.
Okay, let me go ahead and do that for you quickly.
And if others have a candle near you as well, feel free to light your candle as we are about to go into the prayer for the month.
Okay, I share, I guess you, right? Did that work?
I think you've started share
Oh,
screening. Can you? I've set it up. If you have it ready, that's fine too. But I've set it up so I can share this
okay.
prayer. If it, okay, it's done it for me now. It wouldn't let me do
Okay,
it.
I
Now it
was like,
will.
I don't know what to do.
Does that work?
Yes, it's there, I see it.
Excellent.
And let's see, I just need my prayer here. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if anyone has their candles, Julia and I suggest that we light it before we begin with the prayer. And if you don't have one, I'll share mine with you. Well, if I had a lighter that worked, let's try this one.
I would just say I'm using a battery operated candle today, and that's fine too.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It truly is. Plus, it's safe, right? It's you don't have to if you
Yeah.
have animals and things like that. And battery candles are great for putting on an altar, and you don't have to worry about anything getting wax melted on it or ruining. So, okay. So let's begin, Julia. You want to start?
Yeah. Okay, so just asking everyone just to come back into your center. Feel free to read along or speak aloud or just close your eyes and listen as you prefer. Beloved Source, Divine Love Light, Creator Energy infusing all. We come together as light anchors at this time to be vessels for the energy of the new earth and the sacred magic of rebirth and renewal to be grounded in the Gaia realms at this time.
We ask that the sacred magic of rebirth and renewal be seated in each of our hearts and in the collective consciousness, uprooting and bringing up for release that which is not in alignment with our highest good and our highest joy, and that we as individuals and as a collective are supported and upleveling into the next highest evolution of our being.
We ask for your grace, bestowing upon us divine aligned miracles, so that we may, as individuals and as a collective, evolve into a higher consciousness of love and each know self in more of our truth.
We ask that through the sacred magic of rebirth and renewal, we may be restored to self and once more walk on Gaia as humans, united with higher self, knowing ourselves as one with nature and one with another.
One with Source, co-creating a new earth anchored in love, in respect for all, holding a collective frequency that allows us to transmute our collective density, transcend internal and external limitations, and expand beyond what we have been this far.
We ask that our individual and collective rebirth, renewal, and transformation be infused with divine grace and an underlying coherence arising from its alignment with the divine plan for humanity at this time.
We ask that we may be gifted clear vision, insight, and wisdom so that we can perceive what is truly important. We ask for the courage to release what is no longer aligned and the assertiveness to stand in our truth, our wisdom, and our light, and to take empowered action in the direction of benevolent good.
We ask that we feel the transformation. Let me start again. We ask that we feel the transformative energy of renewal in our individual lives and communities and in the collective uplifting as individuals and as humanity.
Allowing us to come into a deeper appreciation of the magic and miracle of who we are, the magic and miracle of life, the magic and miracle of connection, and a fuller embodiment of love for life, gratitude, awe, and joy.
We ask that the transformative energy of magic infuses our hearts, our minds, our families, our communities, our lives, co-creating a brighter, more loving, more joy-filled future for every man, woman, and child incarnated in the earth plane now.
We call on our higher dimensional guides and helpers. Archangel Jophiel, clear our path with your gentle and grace-filled magic, that we may more easily perceive our way and walk it supported by your love and grace.
The dragons, clear and transmute density individually and collectively, preventing us from knowing self and more of our truth.
Merlin, unleash your white magic in these realms, aiding our transformation powerfully in ways known and unknown to us.
Isis, help us to walk boldly into the unknown and release us from all that would keep us in smallness, limitation, and trapped in the falsehoods of the false matrix.
The crystals, as led by quartz, rose quartz, diamond, and emerald, activate and unlock powerful knowings within us and lend your support to the amplification of light and the raising of our frequency in these realms at this time.
Lyrians and Arcturians, activate our DNA codes of love, of sovereign selfhood, and of alignment with the divine plan for humanity at this time.
May our intentions be amplified and brought about with swiftness, ease, and grace in these realms.
In this now, as they are anchored in our hearts, in the ley lines, and in the new earth grid on our behalf.
So it is.
So it shall be.
We thank you.
Yes, we do. And again, I just wanted to remind everyone to go ahead and go in and watch the interview I did with Sue Davy. I asked all sorts of questions that you would be surprised. So I think that it's a very energetic kind of time that we had, and I think you guys will also enjoy that. And I thank you for coming here today and sharing your time and allowing us to come within your space.
And may we all just allow ourselves to deeply let in that energy of magic and renewal and rebirth and possibility and the miracles that come in with it. That's my hope for us as a group of light anchors and also for the collective at this time.
Thank you, everyone. Blessings to you.